I'd rather go back to America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit
Yeah.
fraud, the bullshit
Yeah.
scam, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks.
No, you cannot. You cannot compare America to any other country, especially America to any other countries in Africa. I don't care if you guys saying, oh, we have the same bills here, we have the same thing. It's not the same. We don't care. It would never be the same. It would never be the same until you need to leave Africa and come here and live. At least give it 6 months and come back to this video. Africa has a lot of riches, but their leaders are very corrupt, and that's why people are moving away from there. America take advantage of its citizens, and this country was built on just money situation. If you don't have it, you will suffer.
So me and my family have been in South Africa for 3 days now, and I want to tell you what I've learned since we've been here. South Africa is not a place, it's not a vacation, it's a feeling, it's an embracement, it's a vibe, it's so many things. And this is just one part of Africa. Africa is huge. Everywhere we've gone, we've been embraced. We're not treated like we don't belong here. We're not outsiders. And don't get me started on the fact that okay, this right here, this color is everywhere. It's such a beautiful thing and an honor to be able to expose my children to something like this. Africa is nothing like what I thought it was going to be. And it's definitely not what America portrays it to be. I am moving here very soon.
Oh, I'm in America and these people don't like Africans. They treat us badly. They don't want to associate with us. They disrespect us. As a matter of fact, I am facing depression. I want to go back home so bad. That is what most of our sisters are saying, that they want to come back home because life in the diaspora is proving to be harder than most of us thought. However, today's video is not going to be about that. Today's video is basically going to be about our brothers and sisters who are Americans by birth, or should I say, those that believe that they're Americans by descent and have decided to relocate. And I know that there are very many videos out there of people saying that if you want to relocate, Africa should be the last destination. First and foremost, most of the countries are developing. Secondly, it's a continent that has most countries violating human rights. The list goes on and on. But of late, I've been seeing videos of individuals saying that we are relocating from America to China to Japan to different countries. And much as I want to cover those videos, I am inclined to choose those that are relocating to Africa. We want to know why they're leaving the USA. We want to know why they decided to choose Africa, specifically the countries that they're living in, and how life is taking them in general. So let's get started.
This is why we moved out of the country. So many people want to know why we left America. We sold everything that we owned. We packed up our dogs, our 2 kids, and we moved across the world to another country. We're here in South Africa right now. This is KZN. When we left America, we had no idea how much our lives would change. We had no clue that shopping would become peaceful, that strangers would become friends, and that we would want to stay here forever. We thought that leaving America was going to be a temporary fix for some of the problems that we were facing, but now it's turned into a lifelong journey of finding home. We're not looking for a place to just visit or just be tourist at. We're looking for somewhere that we can be fully immersed in culture and start to put roots down and become a part of a community. We've been living in Cape Town, South Africa for almost 2 years now, and every single day we're amazed at how well the kids are fitting in, how well they've adapted to their new life, and how comfortable we are here. I actually can't imagine my life anywhere else, and that's weird to say, seeing as how I moved from America. But nonetheless, this is home. Well, kind of home. See, because I live in Cape Town, South Africa, but this is KZN, and it's been changing my mind. I'm starting to think that I want to relocate and move to Durban because of the beautiful shopping, the beautiful scenery, and, of course, the weather. It's literally summer 24/7 here, and it doesn't get cold. I hate the cold. So I don't know about you, but I love to be surrounded by beauty. I feel like my inner beauty can really shine when I'm somewhere that is beautiful and matches my essence as well. Durban has all of that. What do y'all think?
We have so many Africans that look at America as the land of milk and honey. So people in that category will ask themselves, why would someone leave America? A superpower country, developed nation, a nation that is giving aid to other nations, and relocate to Africa, a continent with most of the countries receiving aid from the Western world. But all I see from these videos is that there's no country, no nation that is 100% perfect. Do we have the poor in Africa? Yes, we do. Do we have them in America? Yes, they exist. Do we have the rich in Africa? They are there. Do we have them in America? They are there. Are there crime rates in both continents? Yes. But the difference between an African going to America and an American coming to Africa is that most of the Africans that are leaving the continent are either going for educational purposes, some are getting married to Americans, so they have to, cross the other side. And then the other thing is that the number of Africans that apply for green cards, because life is not easy this side. And then the Americans that are coming this side usually have the money, so it is easy for them to settle in and, experience the life that most of the time they dream about having the other side. They have money to buy land, they have the money to buy their cars, they're not using credits. They're building their dream homes. Some of them have stated that they exit because of security purposes, not only for themselves but for their children as well.
Okay, so these are my quick fire questions. Why Kenya? Okay, so 3 quick pros. I would say Kenyans are some of the friendliest and super helpful. If you have car trouble or if you just need directions or you need help, they're always down to help, super helpful. Another pro, I would say you can get Uber, you can get Uber Eats. There's things like Glovo, which is like another food delivery. You got Amazon, which is amazing. Things like movies, malls, arcades, bowling alleys, literally all of that is here. They have like M-Pesa, so their digital money system is actually popping, so that's definitely a pro. You just see like it's progressive and there's like lots of stuff happening all the time, so it just makes it really like livable. Okay, so another pro that I think no one ever talks about, or at least they don't know, is that the healthcare here is actually so good. It's really good and it's really affordable, which is amazing because I don't have insurance here, but it's actually like great. And so that's, I think, another thing that people don't realize. Third, business. Business here is actually really easy to do. There's so much opportunity for so many different kinds of things, and it's actually like ease of business is actually really good here. And then I would say, obviously, like Kenya, it's like wild and it still feels rural. And even though you've got this amazing city like Nairobi, but it's completely like wildlife. It's got some of the best wildlife, Masai Mara, in the world.
I am going to agree that the continent of Africa has very many developing countries. So there is opportunity, there is room for development. So someone who has money or enough capital to start up a business has a very high chance of thriving. The life that you're living may not be the same the other side, but you have an opportunity of creating one because there's practically no competition for what you want to bring aboard. Which again, I think that if you have the zeal or the strength to live that way, I don't see anything bad with that because there's no country in Africa that is perfect. And I'm sure that you've seen videos of people leaving Africa frustrated, saying that I've been deceived, I've been robbed, I've been this, so I will never go back to Africa again. People have different experiences.
So a woman moved to Africa apparently to get away from, America. They say it's because of white racism. It's kind of hard to say. She moved to Africa, and it made her realize that she's actually an American.
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scam, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water.
Bullshit lizards.
The bullshit lizards.
The bullshit animals, big ass spiders, it's big ass lizards. Colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the room with you, sleeping with you, all the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to rap.
Bro, she went to Africa and she didn't realize it was a PvP server. She actually thought it was gonna be better than the US.
My head around
Yeah, she found out.
I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy? Because for me, I'm ready to go. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheeps and old malnourished cows.
Absolutely. What did she expect? I don't know what she expected. She did zero research? Yep. Well, no, she did do research. She did her own personal research funded by herself.
I don't know what she expected. There are very many channels that show you that in Africa here, we value our animals. The chicken, the ducks, the turkeys, you're going to be seeing them around so much. And we don't see any big deal with that. Other thing that I've seen with most of us, let me just say personally, those days when I was young, if I looked at anyone that is that weight, I am going to automatically assume that this person is so wealthy and this person has money. It is a myth and a misconception, and I'm sure that there are people up to now when they see huge people, fat people, the first thing that comes in mind is this person has money. Because you're not going to find many of them with that kind of weight and they don't have the money actually. Most of them do have the money. Maybe, maybe not. I'm just assuming. But I am just curious, this lady, did she really have money? Because what she's talking about, the cobwebs, the spiders, the ducks, the chicken, everything that she's describing is not what I would expect to go and stay in that kind of environment if she had enough money. If you have enough money, you're not looking for places with so many people. You're not looking for places that have slums. You're not looking for places that are rural, where you're going to be finding all these things that you're describing. No electricity, no water, a lot of lizards.
Hey, beautiful people. I just want to talk more about the benefits of moving to Africa, Nigeria specifically, from the United States. I had a video a couple days ago where I was talking about benefits, and I talked about health benefits and the food and things like that. Now I want to talk about like the cost of living. When I was in America, I was paying roughly $1,400 a month, and here in Nigeria, you don't pay monthly. You pay per year. So we paid less than that for the entire year for our home here in Nigeria. And also there's no such thing as credit here. In America, everything's on credit. Credit this, credit that. And here in Nigeria, there is no such thing as credit. If you got the money talks. So if you have the money, they don't care if you make 3 times the amount of the rent. They don't care what your credit is. They just want to know that you're going to pay that rent when it's due at the end of the year, or when you've had your 12 months of where you're living. Also, the water bill, I was paying for water in America, which was like $56 a month. Here, it's like 15,000 naira, and it's like every 6 months, and that's less than $10 every 6 months. So we're saving a significant amount of money living here in Nigeria, so you can live a way better life here. But also, I just want to emphasize that that's, if you're making US dollars, but also if you're, if you have a good job, like my husband is a businessman, he's a business owner, and he makes pretty good money, so we're good. But also just, and lights. So Napa, you don't pay for lights. In America, I was paying like $200 a month for electricity. Here you don't pay for it, but you also don't have the same stability in the lights. So the majority of people have generators, which we do, and the cost of gas can get a little bit spendy, but it's still a lot less than what I was paying per month in electricity in America. So those are just some more benefits financial-wise. Not only that, like there's markets everywhere. You could just walk outside and get anything and everything that you need. I like that there's a holistic remedy for any type of ailment. So if you have a headache, if you have a stomach ache, if you're suffering from this or suffering from that, you can go into the market or some of these other places and get an all-natural remedy or medicine to heal whatever it is that's going on with you. I appreciate that because I would much rather have holistic versions of medication instead of what the federal government pushes on Americans and causes more ailments and sicknesses than what it's, you start out with a stomach ache, you go in and take a medication, all of a sudden you got cancer, something like that. It's not funny, but it's true. So those are just some more benefits that I wanted to talk about.
I think a lot of Africans agree with this, that most of us prefer organic to anything that is chemically processed. So for most of us that live in rural areas, like myself, you're going to have basically almost everything that you need. The fruits, medicinal herbs, you're going to find most of these things are in your compound. So if you're having a slight headache, if you have any kind of wound, if you just run behind your backyard. This highly applies for those that are in rural settings. For those that are in urban centers, they're definitely not going to have a lot of backyard to plant all these things. Africa has very many countries that are developing, like I said earlier on. So you're going to find many of these countries facing challenges like electricity. So if you have money, you're better off installing solar system. As a backup plan, I'm going to emphasize it only happens when you have the money.
I get asked all the time, why would you leave the USA to come to Africa? Or specifically Namibia, if it's a Namibian asking. I realize a lot of people don't know the experience of what a Black American looks like. But the first answer is, it's spiritual. This is the land that my ancestors are from. I am from African ancestry, and this is where I believe I belong. My ancestors came from here. They didn't come because they wanted to be in America. They came because they were taken as captives, prisoners of war. And that is a different thing than if they had decided, if my ancestors said, I love America, I love this land, I want to go there. Maybe that's a different thing. Maybe I'd have a different spirit about it. But at this point, I felt a deep spiritual call, and my husband as well. We felt a deep spiritual call to be in this land. And it was a spiritual call we could not deny for any conveniences that we might have had in the States. So we achieved the American dream in the States. We worked very hard. We both came from families that were hardworking people that had to work from the bottom to the, to get to college and to achieve our dreams. And then we were able to save up enough money to be able to make this move, which is expensive and risky. And it takes a lot of money to do that. But we achieved the American dream, and we took our American dream dollars and brought them to Africa to reinvest here. And that means a lot to us. And again, that's a very spiritual thing to do. And for those who don't really understand what it meant to be a Black American, I mean, it's very tough to tell that story in a TikTok. But America in and of itself is not the place it's propagandized to be. It's a place with a lot of challenges and problems. There's a lot of poverty in America. People in America are poor. They live on the concrete on the street, and it's illegal to live on the street. So they can be arrested for sleeping on the street. There are a lot of shootings and things like that. There's a lot of death that we witness, to the point that we're desensitized to it. I remember taking my husband to my hometown, and we went to go visit my aunt. And across the street from my aunt, there was a clear crime scene. And I asked my aunt what happened. She's like, "Hey, baby, I'm so glad to see you guys. But good to see you too. But what happened across the street?" She said, "Oh, I think a little kid was killed. But I got some food for you." And I'm like, okay. We just kind of had to ignore it. And the whole time we're looking at each other like, there was a murder across the street. They're still sleeping it out. And she's just like, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in years. I miss you." And I'm like, okay, this is America. This is what it looks like. I mean, it's all of the above. It's wealth, and it's extreme poverty, and it's murder.
I must say that I enjoyed watching all these videos. It was interesting, and much as I would love to go on and on and on and watch more of these kinds of videos, we will not finish. We will spend the entire day here. But I must say that while I was watching all these videos, I did not say any of them, much as they complained about not having electricity all the time, the traffic being crazy, the noise, and blah, blah, blah. I did not hear any of them come out to say that they picked on me because I was an American and told me, "You dirty American, you're this." They didn't gang up on me like we hear our African brothers and sisters complaining the other side. Like I said, there's no country that you're going to find that is 100% perfect. So if you're leaving Africa and going to the United States, or you're leaving the United States and traveling to any country in Africa, be rest assured that you're going to face challenges. They'll be good in your travel, but you'll also find hiccups along the way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be having people in different nations leaving their country for another. Until next time, see you. Bye-bye.